Yeah, all right, Shalom. Shalom on your all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Mukal Dash. I say double honors to the apostles and the bishop elders at Great Millstone for teaching us this word in truth and sincerity for doing well. And salutations to my fellow octave across the four corners of the globe, preaching and prophesying in the name of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Yeah, I'm the brother Gabar Yahweh from GMS Hawaii, coming to you with another quick in transit. It's inspired by a lesson that I was watching prior to leaving the house by the apostles, Ricard and Apostle Ramla. I think Elder D-Mash too was in there. But only caught a few minutes of it. Hey, but this is the reason why we have leadership, and that's the title of this lesson. This is the reason why we have leadership. What is the reason why we have leadership? To guide us, to look over us, to watch over us, to instruct us, to correct us, you know what I'm saying, to admonish us, and from time to time to exalt us in the things that we should be doing and we are doing. Okay? And I'm very grateful. I speak for myself as a brother in the faith. I'm grateful to have leadership the way we have it, because you see with the lack of leadership, good leadership, proper leadership, the lack of discipline that some other people have. You look at Jake in the world, but you can also look at those guys in these other camps, man. See that a lot of the focus that these other camps give us is like, oh man, GMS always getting on everybody. They're always getting on everybody. All this camp banging. No, it's correction. If you ain't doing the right thing, you're going to need correction, and that's what the Lord has set us down here for. There's a precept in Jeremiah 3:15. The Lord said He's going to give us pastors after His own heart. That's just what lead us with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Right, roughly paraphrasing. And the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of Yahweh Shem Shai don't just stop with the Bible. It's a way of, this truth is a way of life. All right. Another precept that says, if it be at all possible, be at peace with all men. Because what do we have in this world? Brawling, quarreling. You got a whole lot of unstable minds running around here just doing nigga shit. When we say nigga shit, when we say acting like niggas, that's what that's talking about. And like Elder Apostle Ricard, Apostle Ramlot was saying, man, you can't be niggas in this truth, man. Basically, you just can't be a nigga. Like, we're held to we as Israelite men are held to the highest standard on this earth. All right? I don't know if they came in and told you, but we as Israelite men are held to the highest standard on earth. And that starts with the hopeful elect. That's why when Jake out here doing dumb shit, when you out here when I say dumb shit, wicked shit too. It don't just stop at, cause you doing wicked shit. Even when you doing dumb shit, you gotta be serious. The Most High and His Son Yahweh Shem Shai are serious men. All right, they are serious. Most High is not a man when you should lie, but He don't play. You know what I'm saying? And neither does His Son Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai was an austere man. And then there's times in His truth where you will proverbially let your hair down, so to speak. But that ain't every day. You gotta be serious minded in all things, and that's what I'm getting from this video. And I'm only a few minutes in. And you brothers should watch it. I think the name of the apostles' page is GMS Keep Pushing. I think it's called GMS Keep Pushing. But I'll put the link in the description box when I'm done this lesson. I'll get to where I'm going, Lord willing. But yeah, man, you can't be niggas, man. Like, we're supposed to be shining examples in a place that's dark as hell, man. And like Elder Apostle Ricard was speaking about, having your shit together, man. Like, this truth should make you have your stuff together. 2 Timothy 3:16 says what? All scripture is given by the inspiration of the Most High, and is profitable for correction, for instruction, for correction, for reproof, and righteousness, man. And that's what the Lord is setting us up to do. And that's great leadership right there. That is great leadership right there. The scripture tells us also to look for the old paths, which is the good way. You know, people be like, oh, I got the good book. It's the good book. But, bro, you're not adding the good book to your life. And that's how these so-called Christians are able to manipulate the dumb and non-believing, right? Because they know you don't know. And then they'll say, oh, you got to do this to put this in your life. And you got to do that to put this in your life. If you walk with God, you know. And then they'll sell you this $3,000 book, right? But look, it's already in the scriptures. You just got to take a look. You got to read it. Like reading Rainbow. Don't take my word for it. Read it. It's in the book, right? It's everything that we need to know. It's instructions. I like that. I don't use the term or the what do they call it? I don't use the antidote or BLE. What is it? Basic instruction before leaving Earth. It's basic instruction while you living on Earth. Basic instructions while living on Earth, man. All right. And like the elder apostles and the elder was speaking on, you know, you can't be a nigga and then be in the truth, man. You can't act like a nigga. You can't do that. We have to constantly be aware of ourselves. The scripture tells us to do what? Examine yourself whether you be in a fit, man. And that don't just mean I'm good enough or fit enough to go out always, but like, yo, am I Salaki about the dead zone? Sometimes, so just bear with me until I get through this area. Because sometimes it always does that. I hate it that it does it. And like right now, it's saying reconnect this. Give me a second, and we'll be back on. Yeah, man. Like you gotta have your shit in order. And we've all been there. I've been there. I'm sure you brothers have been there. You know where you shit in your life was all fucked up, weird. You know what I'm saying? Was out of order. But what do? You get it in order. You get it in order. It may not take. I mean, it may not be overnight, but it definitely gonna be something that you should be striving to do. Getting your shit in order, man. Right? So that you what can be blameless. And the scripture tells us to what? To be blameless. Let none of us suffer as a murderer, as a thief, you know, as a liar. Like, no. That's for these people in the world. We're held to a higher standard. And we ought to, and I say it to myself before I say it to anybody, because I'm not just blowing the horn, just trying to jump on the bandwagon. Nah, I really appreciate the fact that, you know, we look both ways, man. We look at ourselves first, and then we look outward, man. You know what I mean? You blame yourself first, and then you blame outward, because sometimes you never know, hey, your shit might not be the right. Like the elders always say, it ain't always Satan that's fucking you up, man. It be dumbass mistakes, man. Even Paul was telling Jake that, and I think it's in Corinth, where he was saying like, servants be subject unto your masters, to the froward, and to the gentle, something like that. You know, because Jake was finding out they was Israelites, and they were in slavery, and then he had some Jake bucking up at the slave master like, man, fuck you, I'm an Israelite, I'm a king, I don't gotta do nothing you say. Like, nah, bro, you gonna fuck your shit up. You gonna mess your livelihood up. You gonna put yourself in jeopardy. You know, you can't do that. You cannot put yourself in jeopardy out here, man. Always like Elder Ariana. He teaches us about duplication. He taught us that years ago, right? He was telling us how Yahweh Shai and training up and walking with the apostles at the time, disciples, he duplicated himself, man. So he was whipping these men into shape because he knew his time was limited with them. His physical time was going to be limited with them. So they had a crash course in learning leadership and righteousness. They had a crash course. They had to get it. They were getting yelled at, cursed out. You know what I'm saying? They were getting corrected. Their simplicity was extremely shown on them, and it wasn't to disrespect them or to Salakia. Yeah, it wasn't to disrespect them or to make them feel lesser than. No, is that because they had important roles. They play an important role, an integral role in the work of Yahweh Shai and in the ministry. And if you're hindered in any way, besides being hindered because you're doing the work and truth, if you're hindered in any way, what's going to happen, man? We're going to be one less future. We already got a few people out there doing what we're doing. There ain't a lot of people out here doing what we're doing. You might see the camps, certain camps got a lot of brothers or seem like they got a lot of brothers, man. That pales in comparison to the masses of Israel, you know, that sleep, that's in the world, to the elect that's in the world growing, you know, because you still got fresh little plants or brothers waking up that still need to learn and need to be taught. That's why the scripture says what? The harvest is ripe, but the labors are few. That's the paraphrasing, man. The harvest is ready to be harvested, but the laborers, the workers, are very few. So if you're hindered in any way in your life, fall fucked up in your personal life, bro, we ain't gonna have nobody out here, man. Then what? Then we gotta do the extra work, meaning brothers gotta labor that much more harder to get it done. Two, then we gotta take care of you, which ain't no problem taking care of brothers. That's what we're supposed to do. But bro, you can't be a hindrance either. You can't always be with your hand out. You got this one guy, he not with us, but he claiming he a believer. Every 5 minutes, this nigga's on fucking YouTube begging his so-called followers or fellow believers for money. He got fired. He needs some money. You know what I'm saying? Well, we're all in need. We all have times of need. But you can't live a life of a beggar. You can't be no begging ass brother, man. That's some begging ass nigga shit. Oh, dude's like, I lost my job, but I'm looking for another one tomorrow. So the nigga lost his job today, right? And then tomorrow he's gonna go out and look for a job. Well, nigga, you gotta give your how about Shy time to work with you, man. You never know. The Lord might be taking you through something to bring you through something, man. You know, you gotta exercise your faith, man. As soon as you fall on hard times, you just can't be like, yo, let me just start digging. Now we understand emergencies happen. These things happen. But this guy, again, he's an example of what not to be in the truth. That dude, what's his name? What is this dude name? I don't even know this nigga name. I want to say Howard of Maccabees or something like that. A guy like that, man. We call that nigga the Cash App Prophet, man. Because the nigga always throwing out his Cash App for people to send him money. And people send him money and don't even know who they send their money to. You know what I'm saying? And then he supposedly got a whole body of brothers around him with them two weirdo niggas from Mississippi, man. They're supposed to be the new covenant, but you broke in the new covenant? Like, come on, bro. And the scriptures tell us how not to live. These are instructions. The scripture says, my son, live not a beggar's life. If anybody can put that on the comment board, I would happily read it, you know, when I get an opportunity. But yeah, you ain't supposed to live a life of a fucking beggar, man. You know? And you ain't supposed to live a life of a drunkard either. The precepts tell us that. You're not even supposed to live a life like of a violent man. The scripture tell us that what? Be not lions in our house and neither frantic around servants, man. So we always gotta constantly be at a state in our well focus, man. You know? Responsible. Okay? Like the elder apostles and the bishop elders always tell us, man, hey, the truth is more than just cussing out the so-called white man, calling him the fucking devil. Right? Truth is way more than that. That's why when people see us, you know, they say something's different about us, man. We're reliable. We're dependable. You know what I'm saying? We keep our word. We work hard. You know what I'm saying? Even Paul worked. As great as that man was in the truth, guess what? He made tents, man. And before that, he was a Pharisee, so he came from a wealthy family. But guess what? Him taking his wealth, he was brought to a lower state, and he was sickly. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he still worked. You know what I mean? When the church of Corinth refused to send him alms and tithes and stuff like that, he said, fuck it, I don't need y'all money. So I got people helping me out. People act like Paul was just taking money from all these different churches he was writing to, and he was just living a life of diamonds and gold. Nah, no. He was always in precarious situations, places, and times, dangers. You know what I'm saying? It takes money to go from one place to another, to get on a boat, to hire a boat. You don't get on a boat for free. It wasn't shit for free. This is the world, baby. Ain't nothing never been free. So he needed certain things, and the Lord prepared a way for him. But he also set up a church to help. Now, does that mean every 5 minutes go to the church and start emptying out the bank? No. If it was like that, then we had nothing. We had nothing for ourselves. Nothing. We had nothing for others that's newly coming in. You remember that story? That story about the couple that was hiding money from from a sale of land from the church. And what ended up happening, because they lied, they basically was stealing from the Lord, and the Lord had them put to death. Had them put to death, man. The husband and the wife, for lying. You know what I'm saying? If you didn't want to sell a land, if you didn't want to give your pledge, then don't make a pledge. You know what I'm saying? Don't make it. If you ain't really fit for this, bro, don't put your hand to the plow. Because once you put your hand to the plow, you're going to be responsible and accountable for everything. From the shit that you do in your own personal life to things that you're doing in your public life, you're going to be held accountable. And again, this is why we have leadership. Not just a leader, but we have leadership. We have multiple examples, starting from the apostle, the bishop, elders, and the brothers on down, on how to be in the truth. Because we got a ton of examples outside of this sanctuary how not to be in this truth. You know? So yeah, man, you gotta be responsible, man. You gotta be responsible, man. We talk to ourselves and we get ourselves in order first, man. We ain't out here thugs. We ain't fighting the cops. We ain't out here trying to catch cases and shit. We got enough of that shit. We got people against us every 5 minutes, man, trying to get us hemmed up. A bitch you might have been with, she all evil to you. The women that you might have been with, she's all evil to you. Your so-called family members, that's why you ain't supposed to be around your family members, man. Your so-called family members in the world. Your real family members are the brothers in this truth, man. And a lot of times, yeah, it might feel lonely, but this is a solitary walk, baby. We're soldiers for Yahweh Shemel Shah. I've been in the military in the world. And guess what? I was away from my family all the time. Because I had to be. Because I was stationed somewhere else on the other side of the world. I might have been deployed on the other side of the world. I didn't know what was going on with my family or my so-called woman in the world. I just had to keep it pushing. I didn't know if motherfuckers fucking over on me or nothing. I had to keep it pushing because I had a job to do. And if I was worried about the bullshit that was going on back here, I wouldn't be able to do my job. I wouldn't be able to live. I wouldn't be able to survive. And that's real, man. But you still got to make sure your shit is in order. And I had to learn the hard way. I had to learn through example, being reprimanded, being corrected. Because sometimes you just, Jay got a hard head, man. Jay got a hard head, but don't let shit get to the point where, like, now you behind bars, you sent up for years. You know what I'm saying? Now you gotta get $1 million defense or $100,000 defense. Bros got money when we help each. You know, we got a little bit turns into a lot of bit when it's necessary, bro. Jake ain't got it like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? You got Jake come up in this truth, creeping underwears that take advantage of the brotherhood. You don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be that guy that's taking advantage of the brotherhood, man. Because you'll be dealt with swiftly by Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You know? So that's the shit that these people do with that pseudo-fraternity. Fraternal is a Greek word for brotherhood. I think it's Greek or Latin. Atari or something like that. But that word fraternity goes back to, I think, to the Latin, to brotherhood or something like that. Right? But the real brotherhood is this truth, man. And it ain't for everybody. Not everybody can get in. Not everybody going to stay in. That's why we have to constantly evaluate our own selves, man. Hey, leadership don't just start from the top. If you hear it from the top, then you already know it's a problem. If it got to the top, meaning to the heads, it's a problem. And there ain't really nothing we can do for you but pray for you. You know what I'm saying? That's it. So leadership really starts at the bottom, with you, at the lowest level. I learned that in the Army. Handle things at the lowest level. If it get too high, it's gonna get too far out of the hands of your local leadership. You got leadership at your local leadership. You got the elders of the camps or the heads of the camps. You got, well, first of all, you got yourself. Then you got the third in command. Then you got the second in command. Then you got the first in command. And you gotta be in mindset like, look, let me start handling things at the lowest level. If you owe a bill, you gotta pay the bill. It's hard to say. We got a lot of bills down here. The scripture says, "For we are yet in captivity, where we are subject to payments, man." And them shit suck. So I ain't saying all of us got excellent credit. All of us got a ton of money paying bills, but listen, shit start when things start being a problem, we start noticing it, and we start to handle it little by little. Handle it little by little, right? So that it won't be a problem in your life. And it feels good to, through the spirit power of Yahweh Shah, to be able to alleviate some of these things that are hardships in your life, because those things can turn into a hindrance of you doing the work, man. You know, Elder Apostle Ricard said, you know, when you got interaction with the cops or with the laws and shit, a lot of times that happens because you in your motor vehicle. Well, we got to make sure our motor vehicles is right, properly made. And it's gonna cost money, and you're gonna be broke. But hey, you gotta pay the bills. We in hell. You gotta give Caesar what Caesar's, right? So you got a vehicle. What's something that you could do as a person before it get out of control, out of hand? Well, make sure that the registration is up to date. Make sure that you have proper insurance for a vehicle. First and foremost, make sure you got a active driver's license. How about that? You know what I'm saying? Make sure you got an active driver's license, right? If you got a vehicle, make sure the vehicle is in your name. If the vehicle's not in your name, all right, make sure you're taking care of that vehicle like it's your own. You ain't running into the ground. You ain't destroying it. You ain't being a nigga about it. No, we got to be responsible. So what else? You got your driver's license together. Now you got your insurance together, because you need insurance to drive out this motherfucker. Your registration, your inspection, all that shit is up to date. So that if you do get pulled over for any infraction, hey, look, all your paperwork is good. You know one thing, all your paperwork good in the car, that's handling things at the lowest level. That's not something that a brother or an elder gotta get into. I'll give a great example. When I was in the Army, I'm not saying we got to do this for the truth, but when I was in the Army, every so often we would have vehicle inspections. Like, I don't know how often it was, but we had vehicle inspections. They looked at the treads on our tires. They went all our paperwork. You know, sometimes your shit was together, sometimes it wasn't. But it needed to be. If it wasn't, they tell you, look, you ain't allowed. You got to have this corrected by this certain date. Why they say it? Because you got a job, you got money, you getting a paycheck. What you doing with your paycheck? You just spending it on liquor and women and clothes and bullshit? Like, yo, what are you doing? It was teaching us to be responsible. So when the vehicle inspection came, you had to make sure your registration. I'm not saying brothers got to do this. I'm telling you my experience in the Army. But you should do it for yourself. Make sure your registration is good. Make sure that your inspection is good. Make sure that your insurance is good. Those are the first three things. And make sure your fucking vehicle is operable, man. Jake shouldn't be running around here driving a car with a fucking screwdriver, bro. What the fuck, man? You know what I'm saying? If you can't drive it, take the bus. It might be an inconvenience. Take an Uber. Take a Lyft. But guess what? It still will cost money either way. It may cost you a little bit, may cost you a lot of it, but it's going to cost you. So this is something that we did in the Army. Like, I remember that. We would, like, they would line us up, or at the formation, at the end of the day, or before the end of the day's formation, we had vehicle inspections. Everybody got to stand by their personal vehicle with their insurance in hand, a driver's license in hand, all of these things in hand. And they'll show you some mercy. You know what I mean? If you needed something to get something fixed, you need to get this fixed by this time. And you got to get on it. You know what I'm saying? If not, you're going to be reprimanded. Now you can't get promoted. Now you getting Article 15s and shit. See how that one little thing that you could have did personally turned snowballed into something crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? Something bigger than you. Like, oh man, you be mad, but it's for correction, man. You know what I'm saying? If you got a crib, your house shouldn't be a fucking dirt box. Everybody know you go to work, you come home, you be tired sometimes. But hey, if you got some time to yourself, clean your fucking shit up, bro. Clean your shit up. Then if you got rodents and pests at your crib, call your fucking landlord and tell them to send a pest person out. But guess what? When they come to the house, your house shouldn't be looking like shit. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't have a whole bunch of bullshit, trash all over the place, shit all over the toilet, piss all over the floor. Like, come on, bro. How's you living, man? Brothers come to your house, it should be neat. It should be clean. It should be orderly. Like Elder Apostle Aramla had quoted the precept, let all things be done decently in order. All things, everything, man. Everything. Again, I speak to myself before I speak to anybody else. I'm not I'm not just jumping on a bandwagon. Oh, you just trying to be a brother on no, brother, no. That video was hella important. You be thinking that it'd be just the breakdowns that be important. No, a lot of the great videos that the apostles and the elders, the bishop elders put out, be them self-correction videos, man. Apostle DeBar teaches it all the time. He says that we are our greatest enemy in this truth. Ourselves, man. And you'd be surprised how you could alleviate a lot of the stress in your life if you start fixing yourself up. Like the apostles and elders, I'll give a great example. When I went to New York last time, the apostles and the bishop elders getting on me about my weight, man. Telling me I need to intermediate fasting, exercise. You see, the apostle Gabar is a great example, and the apostles of exercising. He do videos while you're on the road or riding his bike. You know what I'm saying? Telling us how to eat properly. And that's a difficult thing sometimes, man, but once it starts to become a habit, things like that won't become a problem. It feels good to have your bills paid, man. It feels good to know that you got a roof over your fucking head, man. My grandma told me that when I was coming up, when I was a kid. She's like, hey, if you don't do nothing, two things you make sure you got when you get your check is you pay your rent, so you got a house over your head, and you put food in your refrigerator, so you got food in your stomach, man. Hey, that shit will sustain you. Even if you got to sleep on a fucking air mattress, hey, at least I got a place to go. There's a lot of people out here that don't even have a fucking place to go. A lot of these women over here slumming it and bumming it, couch surfing and shit, yo. If you find yourself in a situation where you couch surfing from brother to brothers and all this other shit, man, you need to really be in your grind. You shouldn't be going out. You shouldn't be hanging out. You should have a job, and every check you get, you need to be saving your money to get the fuck off the couch, man. Don't be on the fucking couch, bro. Fucking search. Don't nobody want to walk by. They going to work early in the morning. You fucking sleeping on the couch. Your hands all in your pants and shit. Pillow all over your face and shit, bro. You need to be up and out, man. You need to make it a habit. You need to be up and out, checking for a job. You need to be up and out, making sure you're doing the right thing. You're in the right place at the right time in the right uniform. Sorry, I sound like I'm in the military, but it made sense now, man. It made sense. I had to learn the hard way through life, but the Lord brought me through it. So how about you know shot? But those things will follow me for the rest of my life, man. You can tell somebody that was in the military before, man. You can tell somebody that's not that is used to proper leadership and used to order. You know what I'm saying? You can tell it don't go away, man. Especially you was doing this shit for decades, man. You know what I'm saying? That shit don't just go away, man. You start to realize, like, look, let me get on things early. Let me get on things, tackle things early, because big problems are nothing more than small problems compounded. That's all it is. That's all it is. Unless it's a super emergency, a big emergency. But guess what? Then those things will be handled a whole lot quicker than the little problems that you let linger, and then they end up becoming big problems in your life, man. You know what I'm saying? You got kids and a woman, like an elder apostle calls elders, man. You got to take care of them. You know, it ain't all about cussing a black woman out. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you got to take care of whatever responsibility that's in your life. And I do that to the best of my ability. You feel me? So we got to really be cautious and be mindful. Be mindful of the office that you got. It's not a little thing. It's not a light thing. You know, we got to be mindful. We got to be mindful of ourselves, of our actions, how we deal with one another, and how we deal with ourselves in our life, man. Again, this is why we have leadership, man. Because we have to constantly, we a sheep. We're Jake's. Jake's hard headed. And sheep, anything will get our attention and will drag you off. And you out here wayward. And the shepherd got to come back and gotta find you. They got to bring you back. And though it's a great reward when one does, slack you. Though it's a great reward when one shepherd does find that lost sheep and bring them back to the fold, okay? Though it is a blessing, it's also time consuming, bro. And that shepherd could be doing something else, putting his energy somewhere else. But he got to focus on you. He got to stop what he's doing to focus on you. That's a problem. So this is the brother Gashan 72 posted 2 Ezra 14 and 13. Now therefore set thine house in order and reprove thy people. Comfort such of them that be in trouble, that be in trouble, and now renounce corruption. You know? Real talk, man. Real talk. Real talk. One of the brothers said that's right. Soldiers. Ecclesiastes, I think, 40:29. The life of him that dependeth on another man's table is not to be counted for life. It is not. If you depending on another man for you to eat and for you to survive, you ain't living life. We already ain't fucking living life. But now you taking from another man's table constantly. You're not living. It says, is not to be counted for life, for he polluteth himself with other men's meat. But a wise man, well nurtured, will be thereof. Slaki. It's a great precept. Ecclesiasticus 40:28. My son, lead not a beggar's life, for better it is to die than to beg. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. You see these people on the corner begging for money all the goddamn time in a mindset of begging for money. You gotta be careful. Hey, man, I just got to the spot. Hey, I hope this is edifying with that. Let's see, Shalom and on to the next, brothers. Hey, how about you? Shalom.